Yep. Yep. I said it. I said it.
Fuck
You
what
ain't
you
gonna do a
said, bitch.
goddamn thing about it. Is
I'm
we
gonna kill you.
live? Oh shit, we live. We coming in live. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Hotep Ish. Intelligent Ish Talk, intelligent shit talk. I'm your host, Dewan B. And with me, I got my co-host, the weakest nigga alive, Mr. Larry G.
Man, good evening, everybody. Fuck Dewan.
Hey, nah, that wasn't nice.
I'm not nice.
Yeah, nah. Okay. Can y'all hear us? I'm waiting for people to join the chat room. Like, we got a couple people in the chat room. I see y'all filling in. I want y'all to go ahead and let us know if you hear me and Larry. If y'all see us clearly, let me know. Cause I hear this weak ass nigga. I just want to make sure y'all do.
Shut up, man.
Nah, I'm not gonna shut up. You can't make me shut up. What the fuck?
No, I mean that's because I'm 1,500 miles away. But if I was
standing right in front of you, you wouldn't do shit.
Man, okay, all right. Well, I mean, I'm gonna let you act tough in front of your people, dog. But you know, and that's all that matters, dog. You know that
know
you
what?
have the disposition.
I know I beat your ass. I know that much.
You a victim, ho.
Nah. I know I knock your ass out. How about that? Nah, ain't nobody flinching at that little punk ass. You couldn't bust a rotten tomato with that little weak ass fist.
You know what? This will turn into this. How about that? Ho?
Yeah. Hey, did you get that Ruger yet?
No, it's on back order. It's on back. I should have it. They said it should be here at the end of this month. The 5.7.
Yeah, man. That shit you showed me, that shit look clean in a motherfucker.
Yeah, dog. I paid for it, and it's going to be here end of this month.
Okay.
No later than the 29th. Those things on back order. That's a fancy ass gun, dog.
Yeah. Everything on back order right now, man. Shit.
Yeah. I can't wait, dog. I can't wait to get that thing and take it to the range, and I'm gonna give me a big ass picture of your dumb ass head, and that's gonna be what I shoot at.
Dog, you Texas motherfuckers are sick when it comes to them goddamn guns. Like, we can't get them shits in California like that. Like, I'm still waiting on my Mossberg. This shit, they say it's gonna be in a couple more weeks. But we can get the shotguns out there, but we can't get that shit that you got. That y'all, if y'all listening, Larry ordered some shit. All I know is the bullets was like 17 inches long, and it was only a 9mm.
No, it's a 5.7. It's not a 9. It's a 5.7. And they have a 10-shot clip and a 20-shot clip. Guess which one I got?
20 shot?
Yeah, man, I ain't fucking around.
Man, we can't get no 20 shot in California. Fuck you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hey, man.
Well, y'all, say something in the chat room if you can hear us and everything. I said we got some people listening in live on YouTube, on Facebook Live. We got people on the Hotepish page. And we got some motherfuckers here from Periscope. I don't even be on Periscope like that, but
really?
Restream goes all those platforms at the same time. I ain't logged into Periscope. You know the last time I got on Periscope? Remember when you were on stage at the Green Horse when you were still out here in LA?
Yeah.
That was the last time I got on, when I filmed you on your Periscope. That was on my Periscope. That was the last time I've been on Periscope. That was what, 2015?
That was 5 years ago, dog. Yeah, damn.
Yeah. So thank y'all for tuning in on Periscope. We gonna get into it. What's up? Aaron Grogan said Larry a 20-shot hoe.
Man, that nigga built like an expired Twinkie. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Hey, Aaron is the most I dated 2-ass nigga on Facebook. You ever notice that? No matter what you said you did, this nigga Aaron gonna be like, I was doing the same thing last week.
Yeah, get your similar life living ass out of here.
Nigga, shouts out to Larry. I mean to Aaron.
Yeah,
Reggie Edwards, the Green Horse, that went over on Centinela. Hey, this thing about it, they was doing comedy there, but I didn't know that shit was a gay place. That's what I found found out later green horse mean like that's like a little code word for gay rooms. I just noticed after we start like a little after we started doing comedy, I did start seeing like the dudes be looking at the dudes a little too hard, but none of the comedians knew what the fuck was going on.
Hey man, I tell jokes in front of anybody. I don't give a shit, man. Everybody deserves to laugh. Damn it.
I tell jokes in front of anybody too, but I live in that neighborhood. There's a whole bunch of motherfuckers that saw me walking up in there not knowing I was getting ready to tell jokes.
Oh well, I mean, you know, they knew, they know. You're in denial, but we all know.
Man, shut up. Yeah, Reggie. Yeah, Reggie, the green horse. Yes. I found that out later on. But the place, they had some good ass drinks. I wasn't tripping. Shit, like, fuck it. Y'all go ahead and be gay all you want. You got these cheap ass drinks and y'all letting me tell jokes and I'm getting paid? Let's go.
And they didn't mind us getting high in front of the club.
Hey, yeah, we got high than a motherfucker.
We used to have major ciphers out there, boy.
They didn't say nothing about our weed intake.
Nope.
Kenji said Larry got a homosexual beard full of DNA.
Kenji, but nigga, you a white boy named Kenji, dog. I'm not finna joke. I'm not finna play with you, dog. You got way too much privilege.
Hey, yeah, that's true about that. A kid's named Kenji didn't get sent to detention as fast.
Is his name really Kenji? That's his real name?
Yeah, Kenji's his name.
Man,
a black dude named Kenji.
We want to name him Benji after the dog, but he looks like a little white cat, so we gonna name him Kenji.
Hey, Kenji look like an inauthentic Sinbad.
No, exactly, dog. Kenji, get your all lives matter ass out of here.
Hey man, let's get into it though. We got the people in here. We gonna talk about this interracial dating. And let me start off by saying before we get all the way into it, and Larry and I, we've had these conversations before. I'm gonna let him speak for him, but I know he feels a similar way. And we really don't give a fuck who you date. Honestly, it don't matter. It's not about dick policing. It's not about saying black people shouldn't date out of their race. It's not about saying, all black dudes that date outside their race are coons. I know some solid dudes that date outside. They have like that are married white women. I think their relationship is solid. You know what I mean? I don't have any issues with it. Because part of the reason why I don't have issues with it is because my friends that are married outside their race, they married the woman that they love. You know what I mean? They married the woman that they got a relationship with, that they like having a relationship with. I don't have any issues with that. Because one thing about love, being a married man, you don't know how this shit gonna strike. It just is. It just hits you. You know what I mean? So I'm not here to get into telling people who they should and shouldn't love. You're right about that, Reggie. He said Kobe's the greatest interracial dater ever. You're right. His woman stood with him through death. And through retirement, they was like down for each other. And you know that's a good example. That's a really good example, Reggie. So I'm starting off by saying that I'm not here to bash interracial dating at all. But what I am here to talk about is you niggas that take it too far. How many times have you seen on these Facebook and these social media message boards dudes that date outside their race talking about, yeah, man, shit, man, I smash her. That's gonna solve all race relations. The way if you wanna then you see these pictures, the way to solve racism, and you'll see a white person and a black person holding hands and kissing and hugging. Look, niggas. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, and Bill Clinton all got black kids. The fuck that mean? The biggest racist on earth that's ever lived got black kids. Larry, before I get too far, go into so what you got to say.
You are, first and foremost, to piggyback off what you just said, you're not going to fuck the racism out of a race of people. It doesn't work like that, dog. It just doesn't. Like Dewan said, I don't care who you date. As a matter of fact, I got white people in my family. I got white women whose last name is Goodwell. and I love them dearly because they're my family. So, whatever, man. Do whatever. Do whatever makes you happy. There are 3 types of black men. I can only speak for us that I've observed. There are 3 types of black men that date outside their race. 1, they love everybody. They don't limit who they date based on skin. That's number 1. Number 2, you got Negroes who have horrible mothers and they hate their mother so much. I'm serious. They have horrible. They have horrible mothers, and they're like, you know what? I'm not gonna put my kids through what I've been through with this horrible bitch of a mother I got. So they date outside their race. They think that if they date outside their race, they won't marry a bitch like the mother that raised them. And then you have the third one, who's just a flat out coon, who hates himself, hates his race, hates his mama, hates his daddy, and is like, you know what? I don't want my kids to look like me, so I'm going to get somebody who doesn't look like my mother and procreate. Those are the 3 types of black men that date outside the race. I don't have a problem with the first one or the second one because that's your mama. That's your relationship with your mama. Sorry that you had a bitch of a mother. I don't. And I have a problem with the third person who puts so much value in women who are not in our race. Like, I got a trophy. I ain't fucking with them dirty black bitches. I got me a Mexican. I got me a white. Dog, there's something wrong with people who think like you, dog. And dog, if we ever have a race war, those are going to be the first ones we need to kill, dog. Those are going to be the first ones we need to kill off. Because they're just, by them doing that, they're just as bad as a racist person, to me.
Hey, I'm with you right there. Because it's like, it seems to me as if, people like to, they can't just say, look, I like what I like, and that is what it is. That is what it is. They got the ones I'm talking about that I got issues with are the ones that got a shit on one to uplift the other. You know what I mean?
And y'all, for all people who are listening, the reason why this is even a topic is because here lately, 50 Cent has a podcast.
Thank you.
And he had Lil Wayne on his podcast, and they got into a discussion about black women, and they were both like, 50 had a lot to say about black women, and Wayne was laughing. I'm like, dog, y'all got black mothers, you got sisters, you got daughters, you got, man, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, I'm gonna always ride for black women. I'm saying, everybody date who you want to date. This dude right here is never going to date outside his race. I'm gonna always date a black woman. If I decide to cheat on a black woman, I'm going to cheat with a black woman. It's all about, I'm just not going to do it. So, I mean, y'all have at it. More for me if y'all don't want to do what I'm doing. But we're speaking on this because 50, Wayne, and so many other celebrities, dog, have come out and spoken against and down on black women. Like, man, you can't do that, man. I mean, you can, but you look fucking stupid and you lose respect of the people who buy your fucking albums and watch your shows, dog, when you talk bad about black women.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like, do you know how stupid you look? Because everybody looking at you like, boy, you came out of a black hole, right? A black woman, you came out of a black hole, and so you literally shitting on where you come from. That don't make no sense to me, man. That don't make no sense to me. It's like when you date outside your race, do it for the love. Because look, let me go back and do. Before I even go there, let me show y'all this. Let me show y'all this. Can y'all see it? Larry, can you see something? The image on the screen change?
No, I just see your stupid ass in front of Crenshaw Boulevard.
Fuck you. Oh, here it is. New scene. Let me go to the other scene. All right, here it is. Thomas Jefferson alongside his descendants. This is a history lesson for the people who think just because you got with a white woman, you about to fix race relations. This is for the people who think just because you are dating interracially, all racism is fixed. Thomas Jefferson, this is his 9th generation grandson. Look at that image. And this is from NBC4. You know, this is them. Now I've always told you about this book called The 5 Negro Presidents by J.A. Rogers. Y'all need to pick it up. It ain't that long. It's like less than 40 pages. But it's proof. And Thomas Jefferson's in it. Because it's questions about his background. It's questions about Alexander Hamilton and Lincoln and a few other presidents' background. But look at what we have here. Thomas Jefferson was the most racist president of all time. Now, all presidents are racist. Every one of them. All 44 of them. Roosevelt was elected twice. That's why I said 44, not 45. I didn't make a mistake. They're all racist. But Thomas Jefferson, this motherfucker is like, he takes the cake when it comes to racism. Because of what he did to get into political office. He's the person that had the Battle of Negro Fort in Florida when during the Seminole Wars, where he sent a proxy war out to get the men and the warriors away from home, and then sent his largest battalion into Negro Fort, which is now near Jacksonville, Florida. That's why it's called Jacksonville. I'm talking about Jefferson. I'm talking about Jackson. Jefferson.
Andrew.
Yeah, I'm talking about Andrew. Thomas Jefferson. I'm getting him conflated with the other racist. I'm getting him mixed up with the other one, Andrew Jackson. Yeah. Thomas Jefferson still with him. Yeah. Thomas Jefferson, this motherfucker had all those slaves, and they said he had like kids of like 20 of them. But this is the one he had with through Sally Hemings. So I'm saying all that to say is this: interracial dating, interracial fucking ain't never changed shit. People have sex and get out of bed and still be racist. And that's the part that I don't think a lot of black dudes and people who date intersectionally and interracially understand yet. Black. The other races understand that. The Beckys know when they get out of bed, they still gonna be white supremacists. But the niggas don't. You ever notice shit like that, Larry?
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Well, you know, funny thing is a lot of us make it a goal. Like a lot of black men and we make it a goal. A lot of them, we're a phase to them. Like they got to hurry up and get it out. They're like, okay, man, I went through a little black man phase when I was in college, but I got it all out of me. So let me go ahead and come back home. But a lot of us, we like, you know what? Fuck home. I ain't never coming home. I got kicked out of my house, so I'm finding somewhere else to stay. So yeah.
And you know what I noticed? And when they get married interracially, Robert De Niro, shouts out to you, they get divorced. They'll never pass the wealth down to that black side of the family. Even when they do get married to a black person, they're gonna divorce their ass within 10 years and then go back home. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Especially in Hollywood, because if you get married in California, ain't it 10 years? Because that didn't like Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise get divorced right at 10 years, and it had something to do with the money.
Yep. Yeah. 10 years she gets at 10 years you get Dr. Dre. She getting 6 that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
So you know what? It ain't working out after 9 years and 4 months, bitch. We got to get a divorce.
It is not worth it. But again, like I said, the reason why we bringing this up again is going back to what we were talking about with 50 Cent. 50 Cent was shitting on, and that's the whole nucleus of the issue that we have to talk about. If you're gonna date who you date them because of that. You know what I mean? All this extra shit, it's a problem. It's a problem, man. Like, here are the type dudes that date. Here's how I say it. Like when it comes to dating, this is one reason why I don't judge. You generally date the women you're around when you're 13, 14, as you go into that age of, sexual maturity, 12, 13, 14, when your nuts start itching. Whatever women around generally going to be the ones you're attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fine. You know what I mean? But those be the ones you see that marry because they like the person. The other ones, it's the ones who grew up. And look, here's the reason why I don't get too mad at, especially the younger generation, the Generation Z. They're like no positive images of black women on TV or black men. But if you're a dude looking at TV, they ain't no real, like, we get to grow up on pretty black women like Nia Long and fucking, he was, I'm drawing the Vanity. It's too many today.
We had Felicia Rashad. We had Claire Huxtable. We had Debbie
Aunt
Allen.
Viv.
We had Diane Carroll. We had both Aunt Vivs. Well, I was a little older, but when Fresh Prince. But we had the whole cast of A Different World. I mean, it was just beautiful black women on TV. It was beautiful black women in music, and they, it was.
We had Stacey Dash before we saw she was a coon.
Yep, we had that. Now everybody is tooting it up and twerking it and busting it wide open. So I understand why. What's this, Generation Z? Is it Z?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand, and it's a shame, and I feel sorry for these young babies that they don't have any positive images of black women and black men, because the black women now, it's Cardi B, it's Meg Thee Stallion, it's I'm a bust it wide open and fuck a nigga for his money, and then it's the men. For the young baby girls, they got these hypersexualized thugs that want to shoot you and fuck you and leave you. So they don't have a positive image of black men and black women. So, I get it, but
and damn. Another thing these kids don't have, they don't have groups. They don't have the Emotions, the Jones Sisters, In Vogue, SWV, TLC. They don't have respectable women coming together harmonizing. The girls don't have a Temptations, a Jodeci, or any of that coming together. It's just a bunch of bullshit is what they see. So when, like, a couple weeks ago, LeBron James' son, came out and said that he likes Latin girls. Being raised in the lily white environment he's in, with the images seen on TV, how can I get mad at him? And on top of that, we have a society that our women, unfortunately, they co-sign these Lee Daniels images, these, what's her name, Cookie from Empire, and I mean, just debauchery. Total debauchery. And so that's something that we have to be aware of as adults, so we can explain it to the next generation what it is. Like, look, what you see on TV ain't what it's really like. You got to live and be that shining example for them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But we gonna get back to it. But before we get back to it, I got a concern. I saw something yesterday that really disturbed me.
Oh shit.
It really bothered me when legends sing too long. When is it time for singers and songwriters to give it up is the question. Why is it that every time when R&B is career is over, they go gospel? Let me stop talking and let me just get y'all to this real quick. And
oh God, this is gonna be. I
want y'all to just sit with me and see. We're gonna see how long we can get through this. Y'all hear that? What the fuck? The fuck is going? All right. I've had enough. I've had enough. All right. Well, hey. Oh, there's no sign? No, Patrice said there's no sound. Hold on.
Good. Hey, you be thankful, Patrice. You be thankful, cause.
Hey, hold on. Let me see if I can go back. Y'all. Here it is. Y'all hear now? Do y'all hear it?
Staying out late, preaching at hate, define your mother, killing your brother,
this is fucking horrible.
Thinking, dog.
All right. Y'all got it now. Y'all got it. Y'all hear it. Y'all get the point. When is it too? What?
Dog, I don't. You know, R&B singers are a lot like boxers, dog. They don't know they passed their prime and they keep going, dog. They just keep like. There's no difference between Smokey and Evander Holyfield. Like y'all are going on too long. Smokey, Evander, Roy Jones Jr. They're not gonna learn their lesson until somebody knocks them out the fucking ring.
Like
dog.
Bernard Hopkins.
That's
Patrice.
Exactly.
Patrice, this came out in like the early 2000s. She said late 90s. She thought it was the 90s. Somebody in the chat room thought it was 97. Like, it has that 90s feel. But no, this shit came out in the goddamn 2000s. And this is what bothers me. Like, my dad. I love my dad. My dad's the biggest Smokey Robinson fan ever. But when that came out, my dad used to listen to that shit every fucking day. Doing that dope. Losing all hope. I'm gonna choke. What the fuck? It's Patrice. Yeah, he was trying to uplift the community. That's not uplifting the community. That's pissing the community off. Because
if you ever want to drive somebody to do some fucking drugs, play that stupid ass song, dog. You cause them more drug abuse. You cause them more harm than help, Smoke.
Like, you right. You made a good point. Like, hold on. I can't hear you. Let me see. Can y'all hear Larry? I hear you. Unfortunately.
Bitch.
Stop broadcasting system audio. Okay. Can y'all talk, Larry? Okay, I hear you now. Okay. You coming through now. Right. I don't think they heard you were saying before because you wasn't coming through on Skype. Say that again.
What I said was that song was trying to prevent drug abuse, dog, and it's so fucking bad. You're going to drive people to do heroin, dog. You're doing more harm than help, Smokey.
Moose in the room, right? He said that Smokey Robinson shit was absolutely. It was hilarious for the wrong reason, nigga. Like, goddamn, like
Moose looks like Smokey Robinson, so of course.
Hey, yeah, Moose, they got that light skin partnership right there.
Yep.
To me, there's nothing worse than like old artists' comeback music, because they trying to relate to a new generation, but they still got their old doing that dope. Losing all hope. What the fuck? Smokey Robinson.
Did you see how he was dressed in the video?
He had a hoodie on. Look. He had a hoodie on.
Hey, should no nigga who's signed to Motown, dog, ever wear a hoodie, dog. It
ever. Never happen. Look, here it is. I got him on screen now. Look at that. This motherfucker is in front of a graffiti wall as if it's 1986. He's dressed in like 1997 hoodies, and he got 1993 braids. And like Smokey, that's a long way from the agony and the ecstasy, dog. Like, to me, Smokey Robinson is one of the greatest songwriters to ever live. To me, I think he's the greatest. Hands down. Easier to take the wet from water or the dry from sand than to take the way I feel for my woman. Man, that's some dope ass lyrics, Smokey. Smokey wrote goddamn Being With You, all those. Smokey got like so many goddamn songs he wrote for Martha and the Vandellas, songs he wrote for Diana Ross, for the Temptations, My Girl, and then this. Yeah, he did do spoken word, Patrice, on Def Jam, and that was great.
Yep.
But what the fuck was this?
This was, I don't. You know what? There's white privilege. Okay, there's white privilege, and then there's a thing. It's light skin privilege. Okay, it happens in all facets of life, dog. Like light skinned singers think they can take a layoff and then come back and still be dope as hell. You got a lot of light skinned two guards who think they can keep playing forever. Like it happens in all life, dog. It's light skin privilege, and Smokey displayed it in this dumbass video. Nobody is going, dog. These people, these kids in the year 2000 don't give a fuck about what you're saying to them, Smokey Robinson, dog. They're going to do drugs, and they don't give a shit about what you smoking that stupid ass song. They don't care about that dumb shit, Smoke. You're not helping anybody. You're hurting the community with this bullshit song and that dumbass hoodie and that trashy ass video you got. Dog. All the good shit Smokey Robinson has done throughout his career, dog. All the great stuff, dog. Like you said, he's the greatest songwriter ever. That video right there, dog, took him down like a notch and a half in my book.
That's like Roy Jones getting knocked out by Tarver. He should have retired a few years before that.
Yeah. And Smokey's great, but dog, that shit is terrible.
Look, first of all, Smokey, I'm 39. Anytime somebody my age says dope, it's like, if you don't sit your old ass down, I can't hear a damn thing you say after you say dope. Then he said drinking that wine. Smoke, ain't nobody in their 20s drinking wine. You don't start drinking wine until you get into your mid-30s, dog.
Hey, say, man, in the year 2000, those kids were not drinking wine. They were sipping lean. I know this to be true, dog. I used to sell it. Okay, so they were sipping lean in the early 2000s. They weren't drinking no fucking wine. Nobody finna listen to nobody 60 years old with braids. Dog, these kids ain't finna listen to shit you gotta say. Your name is Smokey, you're 60 years old, and you're light skinned with different color eyes, and you're singing to them. Nobody's gonna listen to that.
Nobody gonna listen to that, man. So, Smokey, we love you. Generation X, millennials, we love you. But sing to our parents. We like the shit you say. We like the shit that you say to our parents too. Keep it at that. Keep it. Quiet Storm was one of the greatest ever produced songs ever. You can sing Quiet Storm all day for any generation to be good. But don't ever sing that bullshit again, Smokey Robinson.
Dog, stick with cruising. Stick with cruising.
Nigga, stick with cruising. You know what else I hated? I hated all that 80s comeback Motown era 60s music. 80s Temptations when all the niggas had them big blowout shags and every song had a saxophone solo.
I hated all that shit. Was terrible.
All that.
No, let me take it back. I like Treated Like a Lady. I loved it. I love Treated Like a Lady.
That was all right. I like the Temptations Christmas song, The Silent Night.
Oh, that's
that came out in the 80s.
That's the greatest. It did?
Yeah, that was the 80s because they had another one from the 60s, but that was the 80s one. It was the shit.
That's the greatest Christmas song. Yeah, that and what's the This Christmas by Donny Hathaway. Two greatest Christmas songs ever to me.
Hey, I like the Temptations come back when they did Standing on the Top with Rick James. That was the shit. On the top, getting down.
But that's because they had Rick James. If they didn't have Rick James, they shit would have sucked too.
Yes. Don't Look Any Further is a classic. Well, that was Dennis Edwards when he left the Temptations. Yeah, Don't Look Any Further. Yeah, that was his hit when he left the Temptations. And that was his only hit when he left the Temptations too. Yeah. But back to we talking about interracial dating here on Hotep-ish, hotepish.com. Go to the merchandise store. Get a t-shirt. Larry, I saw you order one. Thank you. For those who order t-shirts, Ready Rail, they come in it's like a 6-week delay because of that COVID shit.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's
so.
cool.
Yeah, it's telling me on my end. I'm gonna send a courtesy email to everyone out who's ordered at the end of the week. I'm gonna send an email out letting people know that it's gonna be a 6-week delay. So get yours now so you can have it for the last week of the summer. Back to what we talking about, interracial dating. Look, when it comes to interracial dating, really for people who want to do it, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm glad I almost forgot. Let's go into the history of this a little bit. I want to take this back. Black men dating, having this interracial sex fetish has actually cost us. And it cost us a lot historically. Let me break it down. We can go back to Cleopatra when she was brought in, to the kingdom to marry, then her going to go smash Caesar, giving him all the secrets, and Caesar coming into Egypt and taking everything from her pillow talk. We can go, I'm not gonna go back there. Let's just start with the Moors, and I talk about the Moors a lot. So if you listen to me a lot, you've heard these stories, some of them, and I give them to you in pieces. The Moors controlled Spain from 711 to 1492. How did the African Moors control Spain for so long? Because they had a code of conduct and they got together and they said, hey, we want this shit, we're going to have it. How did they lose it? They didn't lose it overnight in 1492 to Queen Isabella and Ferdinand. They lost it over about a 200-year series of defeats. Starting in the year 1250 when they started losing battles to the Portuguese. Portugal was the first ones to declare their independence from the Moorish Empire. That's why when you look at the Spanish Peninsula, you see that little small-ass peninsula and a little even smaller country called Portugal, because those are the first ones to free themselves under Moorish rule. How did they do that? How did the Moors get caught slipping? How did these titans, athletes, these geniuses lose their grip? They was fucking too much. They reference this in Golden Age and more if you can find it. And Dr. John Henry Clark talks about this in some of his lectures. The Moors were very interested, those brothers, when they had them castles. Part of it was there was no one uniting kingdom. It was a bunch of different kingdoms throughout the area. That's why Spain has so many castles. Well, the people who were leading these kingdoms were really into having, exotic interracial sex with the Visigoths, Vandals, and the different European lady tribes that were around in the area. Here was the catch. When they have this interracial sex, they're having these harems of 20 and 30 and 40 white girls. But a lot of those girls are going home and telling their daddy and their brother what's inside that castle. What are the weak points of these castles? How to get in these castles? How to overrun these people? And so as the kingdom of the Moors in Europe started to decline through the 14th and then later on eventually end in the 15th century, a lot of that had to do with pillow talk. It's something about black dudes over the last few centuries, millennia, ain't been able to have interracial sex or intercultural sex and keep our heads on straight. It's like what Nelly Ford says, nothing wrong with interracial dating, but there's nothing wrong with it as long as you remember who you are when you get about that bed. Because the people you having sex with, they don't forget who you are, and they for damn sure remember who they are. And that's kind of what we see when we see right now. We see brothers dating out. You see them marrying outside their race, passing the wealth down to people outside the race. And even like I was looking at Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is one of my favorite people ever. I love his show, The Cannon Class. But it seemed like every episode he's trying to figure out how can he date the most exotic white, not black woman he can find. And it's like, dude, what's up? How far have we fallen to think that any of these mayonnaise women are worth our time like that. It's to think that any of them makes us better in any kind of way. Larry, do you got any ideas? It's like, what the fuck is it?
I talked to my mom the other day. We've been talking a lot about what's going on now and what was going on back in the 60s. And she says there's a lot of similarities, the revolution, there's all, just all kinds of riots and, black militants and all kinds of shit. And she was saying that a lot of the brothers back then would be out in public, like, black power, black power and all that shit. And then they would go home to Becky and tell Becky every motherfucking thing. And the shit usually dies internally because of pillow talking and all that other shit that you just mentioned with the Moors. And we still look at, there are a lot of us, it don't matter how woke we are and how much knowledge we drop and all that. There are a lot of us who still look at them as a prize and look at us as less than. So that's why you have a brother like Nick. I love Nick Cannon, dog. I used to think he was the corniest motherfucker on earth.
Yeah.
And then right up until you and I saw him remember when Dick Gregory got his star on the Walk of Fame?
Yeah.
And Nick Cannon was there, and I was like, what the fuck is he doing here? He's a cornball. And he spoke, and I was like, wow. Didn't know him and Dick Gregory was that close. And ever since then, I've liked him. Like, I really liked him. But the nigga was also married to Mariah Carey. Like, so, I mean, and again, I'm not downing any brothers who do that. That's your business. Hey, as long as you love who you with, that's cool. But they're not better or more important than any other race of women. Give a fuck how much knowledge you drop on your podcast, homeboy. I don't care how much pull you got at MTV. I don't care about none of that, dog. You can drop all that shit, but when you say some shit, like when you do that after dropping all that, kind of weakens the message to me. If you doing this and you doing this and you doing this, and then you putting down your sisters, nah, man, nah.
Yeah,
I know a lot of strong brothers who are deep as fuck and are about our people and all that. And they, they put they like to stick their dick in the pinker species, and that's on you, dog.
Look, Joe Fox said it. Sorry, but I haven't had my fill of the sisters yet. You're right, man. Shouts out to Joe Fox. If y'all need a logo or something like that, hit him up. Any kind of graphic arts, that brother's a genius on that. But back to what we were saying, man. That's the thing. Like for me, that's what makes it not natural. When you got to go out your way to make sure it gets done. You know what I mean? To when you if you got to keep asking, why isn't it okay that I date outside my race? That means inside you ain't all the way right with it. Because if you was all the way right with it, you wouldn't need to ask anyone's outside validation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Confidence is quiet. Confidence is very quiet. It's not something that if you do, if you're comfortable with it, that you got to keep talking about it to other people to get other people's validation. And I want to say that, with us as black men, we gotta check our relationships. Not me personally, not you, Larry, because I only fuck with sisters my whole life. You know what I mean? So this isn't my thing. It's just an observation because I love us as a people and I love humanity. Period. And look, it's not fair to that white woman or that other that you're dating if you're dating her out of animosity because you hate your mama. Let's get all the way real with it. A lot of these niggas hate their mama. I noticed that. When I hear black dudes say, cause here's the thing, this is the issue that a lot of dudes do. They equate our worst with other people's best. They'll say black women talk about the hood rats within black society and say that's the prime example of black women. And then compare them to these Thurston College niggas, these Princeton niggas, these dudes that I have a degree ass niggas. and compare them to the women that you meet at your job. If you work in corporate America, you can't compare. Because here's the thing: if you can compare a sister with her shit together next to a white woman with her shit together, it's almost no comparison. You know what I mean? The white girl may make more money because that's how the jobs do. They pay white people more. But as far as if you meet a sister who's on her shit and meet a white girl who's on her shit, you can't compare the two.
At the very least, the sister's gonna have more ass. At the very least, it's gonna be more ass on the chocolate side.
More ass, and when she get in her 40s, she gonna still look like she looked in her 20s.
You better preach.
And so, I'm saying that to say that's a very disingenuous argument that cats make when they compare, because every society has an underbelly. Every society has their ghetto, but let's forget the best. Let's go low level. Compare Shaquita in the projects with Honey Boo Boo
in the trailer park. Yeah, compare the projects to the trailer park.
Compare the projects to the trailer park. The projects still win.
Like why? You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because in the projects, we ain't fucking our cousins. They fucking their cousins in the trailer park. I guarantee you. Yeah, there's a bunch of incest going on in them trailer parks.
It was a bunch of incest, and then when you go into the hood rat apartment, she gonna have a big screen. Her kid gonna have all the Jordans. She gonna be getting that Section 8 rent, but her kid's still gonna have all the Jordans and all the video, and the shit gonna be lined up. That Section 8 project building, 7 times out of 10, the floor gonna at least be vacuumed. The kitchen gonna smell like either Fabuloso or Pine Sol.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Barbecue Becky's trailer park cousin's house, you're going to see pizza boxes from 6 weeks ago on that motherfucking floor. Mm-hmm. You're going to see dishes that ain't been done since last Thanksgiving.
18 fucking cats running around that bitch.
And her husband is her cousin.
Yep.
So let's compare apples to apples. So when you see people make that argument, oh, black people are ghetto, black people are this, when you see dudes making that argument, they talking about their mama. Let's just tell the truth.
Yep. They have shitty mothers, and that's what they're comparing the shit to. I don't want to date black women because my mama was a trifling bitch.
My mama had every nigga from Darnell to Jaquante coming through.
And some of my homeboys, too.
Yeah. You're right, Patrice. They who you want, but don't escape the black woman in the process. You know what I mean? And so that's what I wanted to say about that. But let's balance our argument out now. Let's talk about it on the other end when it comes to women. I understand women, like black women. When I see black women complaining about dudes who date interracially, it's a legitimate gripe. It is because of what we're talking about. It's because they can't just do it and be cool with it. It's because it's not all of them. Like I said, if this don't apply to you, don't act like a little hoe ass nigga and internalize it. Shut the fuck up and be a man and notice we talking about somebody else if it don't apply to you. But if what we saying is hurting you, it probably do apply to your ass. So you just acting like you mad at us. That's not my problem. Back to what we talking about. They have a legitimate gripe when they voice these concerns, because us as the male society, most black men who date outside their race is proven immature at doing that. So when you see black women, when you see them jump on things, and yeah, I see they are a little fast to jump on certain shit. I ain't saying they perfect. Sometimes I'll be like, ooh, that was a little fast. But I understand where it comes from, ladies. And I want you guys to know that. You're the 2 straight men. We ain't these henpecked niggas on CNN who get talking points. Real niggas understand where you coming from. Go ahead, Larry.
No, look, I'm not the best person to talk about interracial relationships or anything like that. Because number one, I've never been in one, and number two, when I was 9, I've told you this story. Like, I never even had a chance to want to date white women because when I was 9 years old, I was in Sharpstown Mall. It was my brother, my mother, my father, and I. And we were school shopping. And this white lady with blonde hair and blue eyes walked past us. And my brother and I looked. And we just looked because the bitch was bad. Like, I remember she was, I was like, oh, okay. And my dad kind of looked with us. And when she walked off, when she got in the distance, we kind of came back. You know how you look and you come back. And my dad was like, hey, man, do y'all like white women? And he didn't give us a chance to answer. I was like, we didn't know we were going to be in trouble if we answered a certain way. And he said, man, look, if you ever want to kill your mother, I'm 9 years old. I'll never forget this. I was going to the 4th grade. He said, look, if you ever want to kill your mother, bring home a white woman. And he never said, I'm joking. He never said, he said that. And then we went and looked at fucking shirts or something. I don't know. But he said that. That's always stuck with me. It's always stuck with me, dog. His mother, I guess she told him the same thing. So, again, I'm not the best person to speak on interracial relationships because I've always been under the impression that if I brought home a white woman, my mom was just going to spontaneously combust and she wasn't going to be around anymore.
That's funny.
No, it's the truth, D. My dad, he told us that at 9 years old, he told us that and didn't explain it and didn't clean it up later on in life. It was just that. That's what it was. So I'm 46, knowing that that's not going to happen, but still like, if I bring Becky to the family reunion, she might have a heart attack. So it's never happened.
Hey, Lisa, I'm looking for the comment. I can't see it. I saw your comment on YouTube. Reach out to comment on Facebook or here in the chat. We got Lisa Willis in the chat room. One of the first women to coach in the G League, in the NBA G League.
Man, that's
Lisa doped in the motherfucker. I'm glad Lisa up in here. Salute to you, Lisa Willis. We used to hoop together at LA Fitness, and she used to kill these niggas. I love Lisa. You know what I mean?
Shout out to that woman.
Yeah, she was in she made the WNBA. And I be talking all kind of shit about the WNBA, and I don't watch it. But I did watch it when Lisa played. Lisa was literally I can tell you now, 80% of the WNBA games that I watched, and it wasn't many, Lisa played in when she was on the Liberty. And I remember she got drafted. I think she was on the Sparks for a little bit too. But yeah, so salute to you, Lisa. Retype the comments so I can address it. But back to what we were talking about as far as what's going on with the interracial thing and the dating. Like I said, I never did it, but it was just one of those things where, for me, I didn't do it because of safety reasons. I'm in the history. I remember hearing about Emmett Till. You know what I mean? Mm. I saw with my own eyes what happened with OJ when I was 13. How they just pinned a murder on him. I remember saying, no, OJ didn't do it. The big reason why the story was what it was because of the color dynamic. I saw all that. And I was like, look, and then I would watch, as a kid, you grew up watching sports. You see your favorite athletes of all time getting divorced. And when they get divorced to a black woman, they lose this much. But when they get divorced to a white woman that they've been with for half the time of the black woman, they lose like that much. And I was like, I don't know if I want to deal with that. That was mostly, then I was, then you see all the different accusations. It just one thing, look, it's just too much for me to handle. But I don't like to, like I said, I don't like the dick police. I don't like to tell people who it is or why you should be. I don't know. We not, like, folks, I'm going to say it again. We are not coming from that angle. We're not. We're coming from an angle of, at least if you're going to do it, be mature about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, Larry. So,
I've always heard that you can't help who you fall in love with. That's the truth. You can't. But let me tell you something. You can help who you fucking hang with. Because 9 times out of 10, you marry people who you hang with. I mean, you just don't out the blue like, oh, that bitch at Dillard's, I'm gonna marry her. Like, no, dog. You've known a lot of times you've known your wife or your husband for long. It usually happens like that. I don't like the dick police either. I don't like. I've said this. I'll say it again. I got white women in my family. Shout out to Cammy Goodwell. Shout out to Marianne Goodwell. Shout out to Juanita. She's Hispanic. She's not black, but love all y'all. So if y'all watching, don't give me no shit at the next family reunion because I gave y'all's props. And I know why your husband's married y'all. So a lot of you niggas out here that do it because you think you got a trophy. That's just the bottom line. You think you got a trophy or you hate your mama. Those aren't the only 2 reasons. They're number 1 is out of love. I love this woman and I don't give a shit what she looks like. And hey, all the props to you, brother. Everybody deserves happiness. Everybody does. If that's what makes you happy, hey, do it. But a lot of you niggas hate your mama. And it's not fair to that woman that you're dating her and gonna marry her because you hate your mom. You need to deal with your issues with your mom first. And then you might want to have a relationship. And then you got the other ones that you and I have been discussing who look at, the other women, the quote unquote exotic women as a trophy. Bruh. Let me explain something to you. The word exotic, it doesn't describe who you marrying. It describes where you came from. And if you don't believe me, do some reading. Like exotic, mayonnaise is not exotic. It's not an exotic condiment. It doesn't send your, if you eat some mayonnaise, your tongue doesn't go on a flavorful journey, dog. It's like, okay. It's not an exciting condiment at all.
I'm glad you brought that up, man. It's exotic is just somewhere where you're not from. It's nothing special about it. You know what I mean? And Sharon Rogers had a good comment. Do we see wealthy white women marrying poor middle class black men? And the answer is no. On the opposite side, this motherfucker Tiger Woods married his house slave. He married the maid, and now she a half a billionaire. All the women that married Tiger married the maid. You do not see the equivalent on the other end. Okay, I see.
Well, you see quite a few. You do see. I've seen quite a few white women who have corporate jobs, and they will go get somebody who who plays PlayStation all day. That stereotypical. I've seen that.
That's their weekend action. That ain't who they marrying.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. But they will go get.
They will go get some action, but they're not about to pass the fortune down to that motherfucker. No, okay, Lisa. She said, Lisa's question: what is it that makes black men feel so comfortable talking trash about how bad a black woman is, but it's a black woman that's the first in line to have their backs? That's a great question. Where they're coming from, Lisa? That's a great question.
We don't have the answer to that because we are not those types of dudes. You're gonna have to ask that to some sorry motherfuckers. I can't answer.
Okay, I'm gonna give her the answer I think, and then I want you to get an answer that you think just based on observation. All right, let's do that.
All right, well, we'll do that.
What makes black men feel so comfortable talking trash about how bad a black woman is? I'm gonna tell you why, Lisa. This is my conjecture, and this is my observation. When people talk bad about others like that, especially a woman, and he comes from a black woman, that is self-worth issues that he has. Anybody who can just bash people on GP, just bash a woman. If a woman's bashing a man and all men ain't shit, I guarantee you she ain't shit. If a man is always bashing a woman, saying women this, women that, why women this, why women that, it's because he's a loser. All right? He hasn't figured things out for himself. And every time he comes across when he comes across a girl, he gets sexual access and he leaves. But when he comes across a woman, he's reminded of how far he's fallen short. So he has to project that bullshit onto you. So you as black women and women in general, you don't need to take that in. Don't take that in and internalize it. That's the issue that these people are having between their own ears. That's not your fight. That's the fight between him and his mama. Go ahead, Larry.
Now you took, dog. When I tell you took the answer right out my dog, that's exact. That has nothing to do with you or y'all. It has everything to do with him or them. He's projecting. You know, he sees a woman with his shit together. With her shit together, and his shit ain't together. And he's like, you know what? Fuck that bougie bitch. And I'm gonna tell you why I know that's the truth. Because I'm speaking from experience. I've been as low as you can possibly go and seen a beautiful woman who had her shit together. And my first thought was, man, fuck that bitch. And it should have been, Mary, get your sorry ass up and meet her halfway. And stop being sorry. A lot of those people those men, they're comfortable and actually happy being sorry. Because it takes little to no effort. Dog, you can be sorry and not put forth no effort. It don't take no effort to be sorry. All you gotta do is sit there and not do nothing. Trust me, I know. I had a sorry phase. So every woman I saw who had their shit together, I was like, man, that bitch thinks she's better than me. No, nigga, you think she's better than you. And guess what she is? She's better than you, dog, because you're sitting there judging her and she's out getting it. So get your weak ass up and meet her at least halfway. So I know why though. I know why men do that. It's because, like D said, they've fallen so far, and a lot of them don't want to get up. They want to wallow in misery and judge and insult people who are doing shit that they feel that they can't do. And when you see a black dog, whenever you see a black woman who got her shit together, let me tell you something. There's not a better sight on this planet than a sister who got her shit together. She look good. She smells good. Women who are doing great in life, they have a different walk. They smell, everything is different about them. So if you already down in the dumps and you see that fucking vision of perfection, you're like, you know what, man, I can't get that. I can't get that woman. So fuck that bitch. And really you're saying, fuck me. You're projecting.
Hey,
I hope I answered her question.
So Lisa, I hope you got the answer. I hope. Let me see what the last comment was. It's just amazing because even though the trifling black man's comment, we still ride. Hey, I will look. That's a great comment. Yep. I will, because I was I'm about to go in there and get on my ladies for a little bit, because there's certain things adjustments that you guys need to make in order to make it happen and get bigger. But what I'm about to say next does not exclude what Lisa says, and I'm glad Lisa said this in the chat room. It's up on the screen for you, because this is what I want to echo what she just said. Because she said, we basically still ride for y'all, for black men, no matter what we going through, and that's true. Absolutely. That's unequivocally, you cannot argue that. I don't care how much you can't. Black women, if you see the amount of black women that date outside the race versus black men is not close.
At all, dog. At all.
If 10 people are dating out their race, 8 are men, 2 are women. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so the black woman, she's seen us be molested by the slave master. She see these. Look at the dudes. Look at the mainstream dudes. Look what it takes to be successful in the mainstream. You gotta basically be henpecked by a white man to be a black man in any kind of thing mainstream. You can't talk the way you talk. Niggas gotta take the bass out their voice. They gotta change the way they act, and the women still be there. A black man is never gonna have any issues getting at a black woman because she's loyal. She's always there for us. It's been us that's been stepping out on her a little bit too much. And yeah, she got some issues, and we gonna I want to have an issue where we another episode where we talk to black women, but and talk about, have some critiques and some things that we do. But I want to make sure you on that show, Larry, along with some women on that show, because I want to make sure I have women when we get into that subject. I'm gonna see if Kamira can get on next week. That'd be great if she can get on. But ladies, I also want to say this. We have to look back. One reason why you see a lot of dudes, especially now, being like, fuck it, I don't want to deal with it. We got to go back to the 90s. Terry McMillan. Novels. I don't need a man. Strong and independent. I can do this by myself. Men this, men that. A lot of men heard that and was just like, fuck it. One thing about men, ladies, that you got to realize, men take the path to least resistance. That's just true. When you saying I got it, I'm strong and I'm independent, I don't need a man, you have to understand that has consequences. You can't say that in a vacuum and then expect the men to always be right there. Like, what do you want now? No.
You ready for me now?
You ready for me now? No, you's independent, but you need me to grab that groceries now? I used to see this shit all the time in church. In church, I saw the bossiest women ever. You don't really see it nowhere else, but you really see it in church. If you want to see some women boss a bunch of dudes around, not named the pastor, go to church. No, Tim, move the box over there. No, don't do that. No, shut up. You. I was like, goddamn, lady. That had consequences. And these are consequences that we need to talk out. Because men have a story too. Talk a little bit about that, Larry. And that, remember, you was around in the 90s when all that shit was going on.
Man, I graduated from high school. I was in college in the 90s. So of course I've read I read a couple Terry McMillan books. You know why I read them? I read them because black women were talking about them. And I was like, I'm finna shit. These black women talk about these books. Let me read these motherfuckers so I can have something to talk to them about. So I can give me some ass. That's that everything. So I would read these books, and I'm like, man, this is some bullshit. They were highly entertaining, but it was bullshit. It was like a Twinkie. It tastes good, but it ain't got no nutritional value whatsoever, dog. And so I read, and they all had a common thing. They had a common thing. I'm strong enough, and that's fine because y'all are. But I don't need to fucking hear it every 15 minutes. I know. Like we know how strong y'all are. We have black mothers and sisters. We know. I don't want to hear that. We know how strong you are. If you want us to be strong, stop telling us how fucking strong you are. We know. We absolutely know. And listen, D. The greatest thing that ever happened in life to me was Terry McMillan writing all these books, all these novels, and ended up with a homosexual dude.
It was funny. You said that at the same exact moment Sharon Rodgers wrote that in the chat room, but wasn't she gay?
Dog, she was dog, and that dog. He was so. It wasn't like he wasn't no DL brother. He was, yes, that kind of gay dog. He was very gay. Again, nothing wrong with, hey man, that's nothing against gay people. But you writing all these books about strong black women today, and you marry. And I think he got some money from her too.
He got some money from her.
I don't wish that upon nobody, but
I remember. Look, that ain't even about wishing. I remember when she brought him out on Oprah and she was flaunting him.
Exactly.
Man, Ray Charles blind ass was like, yeah, that nigga gay.
Yep.
He can see that.
Yep. I don't even touch his wrist. I know they limp. Like he ain't even yeah.
It was like, look, I don't even have a strong gaydar, and I was a teenager back then. I was like, hold on, homie got some fruit in his salad, and you talking about us? Black women. We've unfortunately, they've been, all these stories like Beloved and the color purple, where time and time and time again, the worst image of black men is portrayed. And that guy becomes the image of black men. And now all of a sudden, when Mr. was a man of that time, but he's nothing like the man of this time. You know what I mean? And Mr. was Mr. because back then, black men had to be hard, because if a black man got caught laughing in the street, he got killed if he didn't put his head in a barrel and do a barrel of laughs. That's where that term comes from, the barrel of laughs. Look it up. You had to go stick your head in the barrel to laugh. It was different times, so they were harder. I'm not going to judge them for the harshness that they were back then because they lived in a different time. Now, we ain't like Mr., but we still get treated and talked about in the media as if we are. We've changed a lot. Male society has done a lot to get the attention of our women, but we need our women to see us. And I think that's happening right now. I see overall, as I look throughout the landscape, I see black men and women starting to communicate again, starting to talk again, starting to have empathy for each other's trauma that we've dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way we're going to get past what we're going through right now is through having that talk and through having respect for one another and what we've gone through. Patrice in the chat says that the strength is a direct response to our generational trauma. We had to be strong. That's true. The strength is a direct response.
And another thing.
Go ahead, Larry.
Whenever we talking, it don't need to be, because I see a lot of these discussions. I've seen like people have like panels, talk shows, and it's black women and black men talking out our issues, and it becomes combative, and it turns into a us versus y'all thing, and that doesn't solve anything. It needs to be us versus that issue, us versus the problem, instead of us versus each other. We don't work shit out arguing.
What we need now is the Holy Trinity to come back: man, woman, child. I see too much black women patting each other on the back. I'm a strong black woman, and black women this, and black men. What about your children? What do you think the children hear when you say that? I hear the men. Oh man, these black women ain't shit. These black women need to learn how to listen. These black women, nigga, what about your kid? What about us? What about the unit? We created the whole concept of the Holy Trinity as Africans: man, woman, child. Have we forgotten? Isis, Asar, Aset, and Haru. That's the Holy Trinity: Asar, Aset, and Haru. It's all of us. It's together. And I don't have any kids, but I look at my global community kids. I work with kids because even though I don't have my own directly, there's still children out there that they need to be considered. All the adults have just forgot about the kids. The kids is out there just on their own right now. Because the women are talking about, oh, the women can't get past their trauma, and the men can't get past their trauma. And we always having these suffer Olympics. I had it worse. You had it worse. Look, we both had it fucked up, but through different ways. The men and women say, oh, well, the men raped us. Well, look, goddammit, the men got raped too by the LGBTQ whites. The same people that a lot of the women want to align with now. The LGBTQ people, I've seen a lot of my ladies, black, out there with the LGBTQers. Their men were raping the men like the straight men were raping the black women. It's either we gonna get through this shit together or we not. But it's together we gonna thrive, and together we gonna fall.
I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna find me a good black woman, and we gonna make it. I don't give a fuck what the rest of y'all do. We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right, and we gonna get through it talking to each other with respect and the way we supposed to deal with problems and shit. Instead of us, it's gonna be us versus that thing. That's how we are. Like you said, the Holy Trinity: man, woman, child. We need to get back to that. We absolutely need to get back to that. And I don't want anybody who is in a relationship that doesn't produce kids to be offended. If we're not talking to y'all, we're talking to the people who are in relationships that produce kids. We need to get back to that. Like Dewan said, man, woman, and child, instead of I'm this and I'm that. Yeah, we ain't shit without each other. Honestly, we ain't shit without each other.
We Black ain't shit.
We ain't nothing without each other. A lot of people had that fucking tattoo. I forget what it is, the yin and the yang. And they had that you know, the look like two sperm cells like going opposite, doing that bullshit. You know what that represents? No, that's the yin and the motherfucking yang. And they ain't shit without each other. We ain't shit without each other. We need to figure this shit out. Because honestly, it's a group of people who are trying to hunt us down and kill us. They're doing it every day. So the sooner we get to figuring our shit out, the better off we'll be in this fucking long ass war we're gonna be in, that we're currently in.
That's it, Larry, because you know, like I said, that's something that is on us to figure out. Because they ain't gonna do it for us. You know, that's something that we're gonna do this shit. I'm gonna show this image right here. That's it. This is us. This is Africa. This is who we are as a people. Asar, Aset, Haru. Man, woman, child. When we as a culture get back to this, man standing beside woman, standing beside child. Nobody's in front of the other. And if you look down, when it comes to our spirituality, left foot forward. Why do they lead with the left foot? Because the left side is a side where your heart is. Mm-hmm. You always step out with your heart first. So that means when it comes to relationships, you may not necessarily see with your eyes, but if you know it with your heart, you got to be willing to step out with your heart and make it happen. We've gotten so jaded because of the trauma. And I get it, black people. We've gone through a lot of trauma. I'm not here to go around and say you need to just be better. No. We've gone through a lot of shit. I get it. But I've also done this. When you get a woman that you know is the shit, a person that you with that you know is the shit like I have, you're going to step out. It ain't gonna be, you don't need a guarantee. The guarantee is your heart space. If your heart space feel it, you got to do it. So we got to remember as a people, there isn't man above woman, woman above man. That's European patriarchy bullshit that we didn't create. Man, woman, child, all together. And when we get on that page, to where when we realize that we all in this shit together, we all in the same gang, like that sorry ass 90s song.
Man.
We gonna be good.
That song wasn't all that sorry, dog. On Humpty's part, when the beat changed,
when the beat dog, yes.
Man, that shit went hard. Boy, they should have kept that shit. Yeah, that shit. Easy's verse, and I like Easy's verse, and I like Humpty's verse.
The only thing with that video was, my only problem with that video is, not my problem, but if you notice, in that video, why is it that every scene, they came from around a corner?
Dog.
Hey, I'm gonna play it real quick. I'm gonna play it real quick. I'm about to leave my.
Don't you know we got to
put this thing together?
I hated Michelle A's voice.
Let me see if can y'all hear it?
I can, boy.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
I can hear it. Can they hear it?
Can y'all hear it in the chat room? Hey, this was the shit.
Hey, you know what? It was. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. It was better than Self-Destruction.
Oh, they can't hear it. They said they can't hear it. I had the. Oh, they can't. Oh shit, they can't hear it. Fuck. Well, anyway, let's get back to it. They can't hear it. I'll get your sorry ass back on camera. I had all right. But go back and look up that video. That video was a shit. I really thought as a kid that all gang violence was gonna be solved when that song came out in '91.
You seriously thought you suck, dog. You thought the song was going.
No, you know, J Bag said it in the chat room and on YouTube. Summer 1990. Yeah, summer 1990. I was 9, nigga. Hell yeah. I was like, look, I grew up. You see what I have on here, Crenshaw Boulevard. I've spent my whole life either within a block of Crenshaw or a block of Slauson. I've grown up in L.A., Niggerville, USA. So 1990 L.A., I was on Crenshaw and Rodeo when L.A. was earning the reputation that it still has today. So when you wake up and hearing gunshots and you going to sleep to gunshots and you waking up on Saturday morning picking up shell casings from the gunshots you heard last night and you see all niggas, and then on TV, remember back in the 80s, the reason why the gang problem exists is because of hip-hop music. It's because of rap music. Man, so when that song came out, I thought I thought the gangs was going to be over with.
I can tell you was a little stupid-ass 9-year-old, boy.
Hey, I was happy. I was happy.
Get your little weak ass out of here. I'd have bullied you if I was
around. Dog, even though you older than me, dog, I would have found a way to get some 9-year-old shits to beat your ass.
Man, I'd have been like, hey, little fat boy, go give me some chili cheese fries, boy. Get your lunch money. Better not eat one of them, bitch. And I wasn't even no bully. I'd have bullied you, though.
Nah, that wouldn't happen. Yeah. Where can they find your sorry ass, Larry?
They can find me on Facebook, Larry Anthony Goodwell. They can find me on Instagram at Larry_Goodwell, Twitter at Larry Goodwell. This Saturday, I do a game show. It's called the El Goody Game Show. This Saturday, I have Bryson Brown and Chris Atkins. Bryson Brown had the #1 comedy album on iTunes for like 3 days. That's my boy. Yeah, so he's going to be on there, but it's a very fun show, dog. I always have 2 comedians competing for a hot $50. It's very ratchet. Sometimes the connection don't work. It's not as bad as the 5150 was the other night when you was on.
That shit was fun.
Yeah, but so y'all can find me. I stream it on my Facebook page, and this week we're gonna stream it. We're gonna have it on YouTube Live too. So y'all check me out.
Hey, yeah, look it up. Look up. I was on 51. I gotta hit up Craig to have him hit up Sarah. She didn't put my goddamn contact information at the bottom when I saw the replay. So I did 5150, and niggas trying to get in contact with me don't know where to look. Sarah from 5150 put me on the YouTube at the bottom. That shit was fun, man, because I've been watching 5150 on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
since forever.
Yeah.
So to finally do it with some fun shit, man. Shouts out to Corey Holcomb. To me, like I said before, one of my top 5 all-time comics. Corey Holcomb's in my top 5. He's up there with Eddie Murphy and all of them to me.
I love Corey. Corey is a genius.
Shout out to Craig Sorry Ass Smith. I didn't get to do his podcast. Usually I do it with him on Thursdays, but they shit got pushed back and I wouldn't have been able to do this. And I got to be with my people before I'm with other people. So I want to thank y'all for listening. We loyal. Y'all been loyal to me and to what we doing over here, and it's growing steadily. Every time I look up, it's more and more people adding up to the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is new, but it's growing. I'm getting like 20 new subscribers a week over the last month. So go to my YouTube page, Dewan B. Go to hotepish.com. All my social media is on the website, hotepish.com. The top right, you can go to my social media, get your website. breakthroughas.org. The webinars are coming soon. I got all that shit. I done got a lot of that shit organized. So when it comes to my tips and tricks on raising your child in a racist environment, my buy-in don't drop out program. Hey, Patrice, you say you want to be on this? Okay, cool. We need a woman to talk when we talk about some of these other issues.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hit me up, Patrice. Text me. We gonna have you on when we talk about some more relationship stuff. I definitely would like to have you on. And I'm going to have probably, like I said, I'm going to hit up Kamira and see if her funny ass can come on here too. But anyway, my name is Dewan B. Remember, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages. For those who are willing to pick up game, hotepish.com. Thank y'all for listening. We out.